Anything on the sensors? Bill asked Kurt as he himself checked for some sign of enemy activity.
Nothing,
Kurt responded.
What about you guys?
He asked the others. The response was the same. Nothing at all. Then let's go, Bill said, quick to speed up his silver fighter. Kurt caught up with him, and the rest of the fighters followed their lead in a large triangular formation. As they hastened through space, Bill's, Kurt's, and everyone else's sensors began to pick up activity. And now they could make out a faint glimmer of the mammoth base ships. Bill's breath quickened, knowing the dogfight wouldn't be the same as going against a limited vampire army on the Earth. This time, the real battalions were on their way. He tried to regain his composure and felt his mind expand as adrenaline rushed through his bloodstream. In a few moments, they would be facing the enemy sent out by Anaxagoras himself and commanded by one of the most merciless and skilled generals in the entire vampire kingdom, Adiran. Stories had always been told around campfires of this vicious vampire, both on Earth and Migra. His name had become notorious after the vampire invasion and the war that followed. Bill's thoughts became disturbed when he sensed something moving towards him. It suddenly crossed his right wing, and before he could do anything, he realized it was a missile. He sighed in relief when the fighter computers registered minimal damage. "Dad, do you see them?" Bill said into his communicator.
I see them. Get ready, boys,
Kurt said. Bill watched his father's fighter thrust towards the enemy, and he tried to keep up. As he sped his way through, his computer sensors picked up another missile headed for him, and he swerved his fighter away, angling to the left. The missile missed him, but it erupted into 50 small, heat-seeking rockets which targeted him. He flew up and back, then dived back down and fired at the rockets in a haphazard manner. The move was effective as it destroyed more than half of them. The rest were taken care of by the other fighters. Bill stayed with them, but he was worried for his father, who was now nowhere to be seen. "Good work, guys." He was almost jolted off his seat when his fighter scraped against something. He pulled up and tried to take control. Immediately, he grasped what was happening. The vampires had cloaked their bases. As he veered up, he leaned to his right to look down on what he had grazed. From the base's tubular hangars, vampire fighters darted towards him and his squadrons. Kurt's voice rang in Bill's ears.
"Bill, you okay? Did you see that?"
"A little busy at the moment," Bill said as he maneuvered his fighter through the swarms of enemy jets. "If this is just one..." He didn't want to say they'd lose, but with so many fighters coming towards them, it seemed impossible to take down even one base. As Bill spoke, he blasted at everything that moved at him, and his squadrons did likewise. "What do we do?"
"Keep at it,"
Kurt shouted. His fighter was now heading for one of the parabolic antennas on another mammoth base. Maybe if he'd jammed the communications and other signals, it'd help. It was worth a shot, he thought. He aimed for one of the satellite dishes and shot 3 times into it. The blasts deflected off the invisible shield which protected it. Damn it! As soon as he pulled away, his sensors picked up a swarm of fighters heading for him. This can't happen. Immediately, he connected to John's frequency, but something disrupted it. Irritating feedback resounded in his ears. He winced and then opened his eyes when there was total silence. What he saw before him were hundreds of fighters all lined up, ready to attack. They were waiting for a command.
"Good Lord, how good it is to see you,"
said a deep, raspy voice.
"Or rather, speak to you."
It was Adiran.
"General Adiran, do your worst. We have nothing to talk about,"
Kurt said. As he finished those words, he picked up human squadrons heading his way. Quickly, he switched frequencies and said to his men,
"Stay defensive. Do not attack. Once you see me, do not attack. I repeat, do not attack. Is that understood?"
He waited, sweat coating his forehead now.
"Yes, sir."
As soon as he got the affirmative, he switched back, not waiting to hear his men finish.
"Talk,"
Adiran said. His forceful laughter irritated and frightened Kurt. The vampire was known to be bloodthirsty and insatiably ultra-violent.
"We are not here to play games. One way or another, you must hand over the boy."
"What makes you think we'd hand him over so easily? Like I said,